Morning everyone. Right, early morning in Gloucestershire. Just thought I'd do a video about the stuff I've been doing of late. Now you all know, if you've been following, I've been doing a load of rebasing and I'm still going on with that. But also, just to sort of like relieve the boredom, I've been painting a few 28mm Napoleonics, which I'll do a showcase of at another time. But I've also been doing some terrain. And do you remember I bought a load of MDF buildings, and I've been working my way through how to improve them. And as my fort video was quite well received when I showed you how I built it, I've finished one of the buildings how I want them to be. So I thought I'd take you through a tutorial. Well, not a tutorial, but just a how-to, how I took it from this in front of you, which is the bare bones, which is not stuck together, to, let me just grab the one I finished, to this. So, yeah. So this is the finished one, which I'll give you a closer look in a minute, but first of all, right. So if you remember, I wanted to use these for several periods. Not periods necessarily, but several geographical areas, let's call it. So I thought, right, this looks to me, let's say North African, Middle Eastern. And I thought, right, how am I going to do this to make it Spanish looking? And actually my first attempt was to do a sloped roof, and actually this, sorry I can't remember your name, who it was, some Portuguese fella gave me some really useful information, useful tips about towns on the borders between Portugal and Spain for the Peninsular War and all this stuff. And he said that the roofs would be more sloped and pitched, and actually a double pitch, not a single slope. So what I did, being the job that I do, I made some of them. 20 minutes in the workshop, I had spare bits of wood, so I've made a load of those. So this is, I'm looking at it and go, right, okay. And you could do this with plasticard. You could just make a V at either end with plasticard. So I thought to myself, right, okay, so for a roof, that looks more peninsular. Take that off, that's Middle Eastern or North African. So then I thought, right, then I went to my local model shop, and this is a model railway. It's either O or double O gauge, can't remember which, Pantile, which actually works very well on there. So quite simple, very, very simple, that I thought actually once it's glued together I can do the peninsula without with a Pantile roof or Middle Eastern, whatever. So then, and then this is what the roof ended up like. So all I did, Pantiled there, and then this is just a bit of card on the top, cut into layers and stuck on a little bit higgledy-piggledy, so it's not so uniform, because this is very uniform. And obviously I don't want it to be completely and utterly uniform, because it's an old roof. I mean, I've been to Spain quite a few times and the roofs aren't exactly the straightest thing in the world. So just because I've got this, I just added this, a little bit higgledy-piggledy. And then all I did, so that's that roof. And with this, all I've done with the whole building is I went to my local B&Q, hobby, DIY store if you're in America or whatever, and bought the cheapest filler I could find. And this is just a quick drying filler. And then I just spatulaed it on and then gave it a very light sand. And there's a series of lots of dry brushing and washes, and then it's done. It was simple as anything. And to go from that, from this thing, let's get a smaller one in. To go from that to that, I'm really pleased. It works really, really well. And then I had a bit of an idea. I was messing around in the workshop, and I thought, if I take this roof off, if I was there and I thought, look, on Middle Eastern, how many Middle Eastern have you seen steps that go up to rooftops and things like that? So then I made these. Exactly the same process as before, with just a bit of this filler and dry brushed over it. And I think it works really well. You can put it wherever you want, and it's the simplest thing. Anybody can make these, anybody. And all it is, in my workshop I got a bin that's full of offcuts of anything. And I had a load of offcuts of MDF. And all I did, I cut them into strips, and then worked out, I mean, it didn't take long at all, worked out that if I did that, cut them all down, and then, oh, I'm not prepared, wait there. Sorry about that. And then I worked out that actually, if I do it cleverly, the steps, because too many times you get something with steps that you've either got to be at the bottom or the top with wargaming. So, with my collection, I've made it so that the figures fit onto there, and I think it works well. And all it is, you just glue that together, cover it with that, cover it with the stuff, and it just works really easily. And that's it. I mean, I hope anyone who watches this finds this useful. I mean, it's really simple, but it takes a really basic thing and makes it into something that's just looks far better on the, rather than just do that and paint it white. And it's very, very simple and very, very easy. And then the only thing I haven't done, which you may notice, it came with these doors. Now, if you notice it, on the original, it comes with little notches there that you're supposed to do, and so you can hinge it. But I just thought it looked a bit wrong, so I'm not sure what to do. I'm going to either glue them on the inside, so there's a little bit of a recess as you get with doors anyway, or I'm going to leave them off. I don't know yet. I'm going to finish them all and then make a management decision on what to do there. But if you notice, I've filled in the lug holes, because I just think it looks a bit funny with lug holes like that. I know what they've tried to do. They've tried to do it for hinges and all this stuff, but to me it just doesn't look quite right. But that's a personal thing. Anyway, rambling now. So I hope you find this useful. Yeah, trawl eBay, pick up these for next to nothing, and then you can make them into something that is very, very passable on the wargaming table. All right then, speak to you soon. Bye.